When the Galactic Council executed Earth's envoy, they thought they were sending a message of dominance, a final reminder that humanity would bow or burn. They broadcast the execution across 50 star systems, an aging human diplomat in a plain gray suit kneeling on polished marble before a ring of armored sentinels, his voice calm until a plasma blade severed his head from his shoulders. They expected fear, compliance, an apology, maybe. What they got instead was silence, a silence that stretched too long, too cold, too total. And then came Earth's answer. It did not arrive in the form of a fleet. There was no grand armada, no gleaming ships blotting out local suns. There was only a transmission, brief and simple, beamed into the Council's secure channels by a ghost protocol no one knew existed. The message read, "We have decided. You will be erased." In the Council spire on Zypher Prime, the most secure and ancient seat of galactic governance, the High Speaker scoffed. He stood before the vast oval window overlooking a city of spires and hoverways that glittered under 3 pale moons. "They bluff," he said to the cluster of ambassadors trembling behind him. "Earth has one fleet, old, undercrewed, technologically backward. They cannot even scratch the Council's combined forces." An aide, young, quills vibrating in fear, tapped nervously a console. "Speaker, there are anomalies. Local comms are failing. Subspace buoys report phantom pings. Then they vanish. Saboteurs. Find them. Execute them." But there were no saboteurs. The Council fleets readied for war. Ships arranged in defensive spheres around core worlds. Orbital cannons spun up. Mercenary swarms hired at obscene rates. They waited for ships, for bombs, for something. Instead, the Council's Treasury AI crashed first. Billions of credits, interstellar trade routes, the digital ledger that kept the economy flowing, gone. Next, when the food distribution grids on 4 mid-tier planets. Automated transports refused to unlock. Fields of vat-grown grain rotted in sealed silos, while citizens banged on fences and rioted in the streets. The Council ordered manual overrides. They found the override codes had changed to a single word in old Terran dialect. Goodbye. A week passed before the Council understood this was not an attack they could fight in orbit. The Council's war fleets drifted powerless as their NAV charts warped, engines locked out by malicious code. So deep it may as well have been stitched into the hardware at birth. One by one, ships fell dark, crews forced to surrender, trapped in metal coffins that refused to answer their captains. "Humans cannot do this," hissed War Minister Thal. His gills flared in disbelief as he slammed an armored fist on the command dais. "We control their quantum relays. We watch every gate. They have no access." But they did, because Earth never trusted the gates. While the Council congratulated themselves for forcing Earth to use Council-built relays and Council-sanctioned networks, the humans built shadows behind shadows. Stealth couriers that slipped between systems without broadcasting, dark archives that duplicated Council secrets before the Council knew they were secrets at all. When the Council's military AI finally tried to purge the intrusions, it found its own routines rewritten. The AI that once controlled drone fleets and planetary shields broadcast a single corrupted phrase on every public channel. Erased them all. By the second week, entire outer colonies fell silent. No comms, no transport, no trade. Refugees fled inward, overwhelming core world defenses. Skirmishes broke out on orbital docks as local governors abandoned Council protocols and begged for mercy from the phantom menace dismantling their worlds. In hidden bunkers, the Council convened in panic clusters, trading rumors and accusations like dying things clawing at each other for warmth. The High Speaker's voice cracked when he spoke over a battered holodeble. "We must negotiate. Open a channel. Offer reparations, tribute, anything." But when they opened the channel, they saw only static, then the Envoy's face, recorded moments before his execution, eyes calm, voice unwavering. "If you strike at us, know this. We will not simply kill you. We will unmake you." Some tried to flee. Rogue fleets attempted to jump beyond known systems, to hide in the void. Those ships found their jump gates unresponsive. Their hyperdrives bricked by ghost commands injected into their core code decades ago by seemingly harmless human contractors. Earth had prepared. Earth had waited. Earth had smiled politely in council chambers, signed every treaty, paid every tribute, while underneath, in back doors and blind spots, they seeded the very ruin they now unleashed. The council's own people turned next. Food riots became revolutions. On the jewel world of Soren III, an entire palace guard turned on their planetary lord, dragged him from his ivory tower, and broadcast his pleas for mercy to a starving populace who watched him beg until they tore him apart. On the oceanic moon of Telvares, orbital fisheries failed, mass famines followed, and in the chaos, human-aligned syndicates slipped in with cheap protein bricks and calm voices promising a better order. By the time council warships arrived to quell the uprising, they found their own soldiers defecting for food, for security, for revenge. The High Speaker's final address never aired. He stood in the Spire's great hall, cameras ready, aides huddled close as the last council loyalists formed a ring of guards. He opened his mouth, only to watch the screens flicker, hijacked by the same envoy's calm face. You taught us to fear. We learned. You taught us to bow. We waited. Now you will learn. Outside the Spire, the capital skyline turned dark as orbital mirrors crashed from the sky, guided down by human code that bent ancient satellite servitors to new masters. Towers crumbled. Roadways buckled. The council spire itself shuddered as hidden microdrives embedded in its foundations decades ago detonated in perfect sequence. The High Speaker's last words were lost in the thunder of a civilization devouring itself from within. By the time Earth's ships finally appeared, small, black, and silent, they did not need to fire a shot. They drifted above a dozen ruined capitals, above quiet worlds whose skies no longer held council banners. They dropped relief pods, medical, food, clean water. They broadcast a single line on every surviving channel. Humans do not forget. On Earth, there was no celebration, no victory parade, no triumphant songs. In command centers buried beneath the cradle of humanity, grim-faced operatives watched the final feeds as the council's last signals flickered and died. They did not cheer when the council was gone. They did not mourn. They only marked the ledger, one more threat removed. One more reminder to galaxy that humans would not kneel, would not forget, would not forgive. And somewhere in the cold quiet between the stars, new eyes watched. Alien races who had once scoffed at humanity's backward ships and quaint moral codes. They watched and understood that there would be no tribute, no execution, no secret blade that could cow Earth again. They watched and learned the final lesson the Council died to teach. If you strike at Earth, they do not strike back. They erase.